Hello everyone and welcome back. Today is a special day because this is the first match of Winners Round 2. That's right, Winners Round 1 is pretty much over. I'm still waiting on one match, some complications with it, but I'm not sure if we can get replays for it, so I'm just moving on to Winners Round 2. This match is between Sherman Tanks and Unicornattack. Sherman has chosen the map. It is Koshinetsu Ridge. We're looking at Sherman's perspective right now. He is blue, and Unicornattack will be red. I kind of forgot in my matches I've been casting. I don't say which color is who in the beginning, and that might be a little confusing. Like, it's obvious to me who has the replay file, but maybe not out there to you watching, so I need to be sure to tell you guys which is which. So Sherman is here in blue, Unicorn is in red. We are at Koshinetsu Ridge. That was Sherman Tank's choice. Like I said, this is not generally a good map to skirmish on, seeing as both sides usually reach the top of the hill on this sort of map at the same time, but Unicornattack does a great job here of having a strong cavalry presence that just runs straight to the top of the hill, which could potentially allow him to skirmish Sherman to death, but fortunately he doesn't have any ranged units besides one matchlock. But I guess you're talking about this as Unicorn's cavalry is moving in for an early attack, maybe trying to connect with all these katana cavalries with his own Yari, but he's kind of going to get scared off. The attacks doesn't quite pan out like he did, like he wanted to, man. So he's just pulling back to the top of the hill. What that attack does do, though, is clear the ridge completely for Unicornattack's melee forces. We're now going to be able to take the top of the hill, no problem. So that leaves Sherman Tank in a bit of an awkward position. He either has to attack straight up the hill, which is pretty much suicidal, as you can see how steep this is, or he has to attack by detouring all the way around here and coming through the trees. Not that that's a bad angle of attack, but it's going to take some time, tire his troops out a little bit, and would make him very susceptible to skirmishing if Unicorn had any bow units. But going again for a cavalry attack early, that's quite interesting. Hitting the Katana Samurai right away, lost about 20 men in that, actually about 30 in that initial charge, so gets a nice downhill charge. Oh, and he's going after the cavalry as well, with his own Great Guard going into the Katana Cavalry. Great Guard should win that fight despite being outnumbered. Look at this, Unicorn doing really great damage here at this early cavalry action. I love early cavalry action, as you probably know if you watch my videos. That's going to put his infantry in great position to move in here because Sherman Tank's whole line is just sort of caught off guard and very disorganized. I think that Unicorn could sweep in very easily here with his melee and clean this battle up. Had some wavering here in the middle from this Yari Ashigaru, but they managed to steady themselves and stay in the fight. So there is a little bit more wavering over here. If you could maybe set off a chain route here, that could be very important. Looking back over here at the cavalry battle, and yes, it looks like Unicorn's definitely winning. Yari and Great Guard down to about half strength, though. Oh, actually, he has one Great Guard. I didn't notice that. So it's going to be Great Guard versus Great Guard. It's going to end up pretty much a draw over there, it looks like. A little bit of shattering already from the Yari Ashigaru. It's always a good sign to see. Won't have as much to defend against cavalry, but Unicorn might not have any cavalry left, so the one problem with these early cavalry actions is if you dedicate your cavalry entirely to that attack, they are all gone. But thankfully for Unicorn, Sherman's cavalry is gone as well. War cries are dropping now for Unicorn. It's going to set some wavering here right in the middle. Yari cavalry is still standing with one man. It's pretty heroic. Yari Ashigaru down to 60 and wavering. They'll be going any second, surely. Matchlock is going to be pretty much useless in this sort of how the battle played out, but they are going to get a nice shooting angle now, a little late in the fight, but they could get one or two shots off into this Katana Cavalry, or even the Great Guard. That'd probably be a little better use. 37 and 15 men on these Great Guard. Just need one big volley to maybe knock out one of these Great Guard, but nope, just going into melee. Decides he's not going to get the shot off in time and just going to try and stop him because Unicorn's entirely dedicated here. He has nothing to stop a cavalry attack from the rear, so that would be huge if the Great Guard got around, but it looks like he's not going to let him. A Kisho Ninja actually coming out of hiding for Sherman Tanks, but way on the other side of the map is not going to be able to do anything. Yari Ashigaru has rallied, but too busy microing at the front or just watching his army start to crumble, as it looks like Unicornattack with some very aggressive action early on is going to end up taking this game. I absolutely love to see that sort of early action being successful and winning the battle. So wavering here now, there's just the Great Guard. Looks like they're the only ones not wavering besides the Kisho Ninja way across the map. A little bit steadying themselves and knocking out a monks here in the middle, but not going to be enough. There's too many forces at this point in a stand-up fight, and no general for Sherman Tanks. It looks like Unicornattack in red here is going to take game number 1. Great Guard are still managing to hold. Surprisingly, so are the matchlocks. Those are actually matchlock Ashigaru with only 33 men, fighting cavalry and staying in the fight. Gotta love the heroics. General's mounting up for the cleanup action. The Kisho Ninjas are running, but they aren't going to make it in time. I think that early attack by Unicorn really threw off Sherman tanks. I think Sherman was trying to get sort of pincer action going with this Kisho Ninja, but it didn't quite work out that way. So Unicornattack is going to take game number 1. His whole army's off chasing the routers. 1 unit left to rout, a Katana Cavalry at 19 men. And the Kisho Ninjas activated stealth. They're going to be throwing a bomb. Might get the moral victory here by killing the general with that bomb. But it doesn't look like it. Does manage to make this great guard waver though. There they go. Kisho Ninjas are routed and Unicornattack takes game number 1. See you on the main menu. That was a great battle there by Unicornattack, and he is a great player actually. If you didn't see his matchup with Scotty in Winners Round 1, I'd really recommend you go back and watch it because it was a great match. I think it was one of the best ones in Winners Round 1, so be sure to see that. Obviously, since Unicornattack is in Winners Round 2, he won the match, so it may not be a surprise ending, but it was a very good match and you really should watch it. We saw the early aggression there that I love to see. It's great to see players really take control of the battle like that, and Sherman Tanks wasn't able to respond to that because such aggressive action, it's so hard to react to because the Unicornattack controlled that battle from the outset, decided what he was going to do and imposed his will, and you gotta love when stuff like that succeeds. So we'll see if Sherman Tanks can pull out a win, but it's going to be on Unicornattack's home turf, so it's going to definitely be a challenge. I'll see you there. Thanks for watching, everybody.